Hello and welcome to this week's What's Hot in the last week of social sobriety before the pubs reopen. Unless, of course, you live in Leicester. Sorry about that. But for all of us, we have to wait a month before we can socially distance and eat popcorn in the Cineworld chains, because the cinema chain has indeed pushed back the reopening of business till July the 31st. Well, personally, I'm looking forward to the summer release of Unhinged, starring Russell Crowe as the man. Well, research is indicating that we are wanting to spend less time indoors and more time in space outdoors. I wonder why that is. And that could be one of the reasons why house builder Redrow is scaling back operations in London. The company said profits will be substantially below last year's because of the effects of coronavirus, and it would be targeting higher returning regional businesses. Well, let's go from the regions now internationally. Let's go to Morocco, because Sound Energy shares had two pretty impressive consecutive days of rises, Monday and Tuesday, after the company updated investors saying that heads of terms were entered into on Friday with a Moroccan conglomerate that has significant liquefied petroleum gas, butane and propane distribution and marketing operations in Morocco. Discover, rerate, repeat. Well, what is the mantra from UKOG? Well, according to the chief executive, Stephen Sanderson, the company's glass remains half full after the release of the interim results, which came just a day after the company shared that Surrey County Council's decision to refuse consent for the company's Loxley 1 appraisal project. Now, with all the ingredients of a climactic soap opera episode, the refusal was by a narrow 6-5 decision and against the planning officer's recommendation. To be continued, I reckon, if the rampers or derampers have anything to do with it. Well, it was a mixed bag of results from On the Beach. It has swung to an interim loss. The Chief Financial Officer, Paul Meehan, is stepping down, but booking volumes for next summer, they remain low, but are significantly ahead of 2020, partly due to the early release of flights for next year by most major airlines. Well, looking ahead, we are going to get an investor update from J Sainsbury, and due to the multi-led level of the business, we will be getting a multi-led narrative. What with Sainsbury Bank? What will the situation be over bad debts? The Argos stores and, of course, groceries. Now, Emily Stevens, equity analyst at Hargreaves Lansdown, said the spike in groceries at the start of lockdown may have brought future sales forward as the nation stockpiled. Now, it's always good to get the inside story, and here one investor is also an employee who has had the staff side of the story as outlined here. Well, is not a no-brainer a double negative? Well, hopefully your week will be a positive one. Until next week, stay safe, stay well, stay sober.